Hi, I'm Heussner.
And I'm Netsch.
And we're here with the Wildcat Report. And some 911 calls have been made lately about Millard West.
Yeah, when you guys hang out in the parking lots on the weekends, people notice.
And before and after school. Like, who wants to stay at school longer than we need to?
I don't.
So just...
Don't go in the parking lots. Sheriffs are going to be driving around during the weekends and after school, and you could get suspended if you're, like, escorted out. So,
don't do it.
Leave.
And debate team, congratulations for getting first place and semifinalists, 5th place. Good job.
Yes, nice job.
Keep going and make it to nationals.
Yep. And also, guys, Photography Club will be meeting on Wednesday, November 30th in room 256 at 3:20 for just a quick brief meeting.
And it's a startup club, so come and help lay down the foundation to an awesome club.
And you all know that there's super good photographers here at Millard West, so make them go, or if you're one of them, go. So now we're going to go to Kylie with a special report on a Warren Buffett segment.
Yeah, 2 of our newscast members went to a speech he gave at Girls Inc., so let's go check it out.
Hi, I'm Kylie Widseth with Wildcat Report. On Monday, November 14th, Warren Buffett sat down with CNBC's Becky Quick for the Girls Inc. annual luncheon fundraiser called Lunch for the Girls. Buffett discussed the economy, his job, and what it takes to be successful.
First, we have our moderator, Ms. Becky Quick. You know her as the smart and media-savvy co-anchor of Squawk Box, CNBC's signature morning program. She is also a brand new mom to a baby boy, so you know she is doing all of these smart and savvy things while she is dog tired. And you have got to admire that. Now, on to Mr. Net worth is $50 billion. To put this in a perspective that the girls and I, and maybe you all can understand, you would have to have 2,429,543 Monopoly games to get your hands on that much cash. And Mr. Buffett's cash is not pastel pink and yellow. It's green. It's the real deal. With no further ado, I would like to invite Ms. Quick and Mr. Buffett to the stage.
First of all, I want to say thank you very much for those opening remarks. This is already a fantastic audience to be in front of, and I can't tell you how excited I am to be here with Lauren and with all of you. And I want to pick up where Roberta was just talking. You know, a lot of Americans today are not feeling great about where this country's headed and where the economy is headed. There was an NBC News Wall Street Journal poll last week that said 40% of Americans think that the worst is yet to come. Where do you think we're headed right now? Where do you see the economy?
I think the luckiest person ever born in this world is the baby being born in the United States today. That doesn't mean every single one of them is going to get a good result because some of them will have bad health and so they'll have various problems. But on balance, there's never been a better time to be born. There's never been a better country to be born in. When you think of the progress we've made just in the, 235 years or so since 1776, it boggles the mind. And that's come about not because we're smarter than we were in 1776, and it certainly hasn't come about because we work harder. It's come about because we found ways to unleash human potential. And we were a little late in figuring out how to unleash women's human potential, but we're figuring it out. It's not over yet, it's just beginning, as a matter of fact. Just look at what's happened in the last 15 or 20 years. I mean, the internet was something I still don't understand it, but I know how to use it now, I'll put it that way. That 20 years ago, it's changed my life in a very big way. There'll be all kinds of things that will change people's lives for the better from this point forward. You ain't seen nothing yet in terms of this country.
Many accomplishments. What are you most proud of, and what do you want your legacy to be?
I always said, I really want my legacy to be, that on the tombstone, here lies the oldest man that ever lived. I mean, if I can't get that one. No, I like teaching. I feel good when I'm teaching.
Most important job you've ever had?
Well, I think I've had the same job now for 40-some years, so it better be important or I'm wasting my time. I got the job. Listen, I have a job I love. I mean, we'll never know whether I would be doing the same thing if it really was hard work. I mean, I get to tap dance to work every day, and it doesn't require hand-eye coordination or strength or anything of the sort, you know. And I sit there, and people think I'm doing all these things. I'm actually just reading the papers on the phone. So I've got it very, very good. But I will say this: I've enjoyed almost every job I've had. I mean, I worked at J.C. Penney here in town at 16th and Douglas for Dodge, and I enjoyed delivering papers. I enjoyed working for the newspaper when I was in college. Don't sign up for something you're not going to enjoy. I mean, it's a terrible way to go through life if you're doing something every day that causes your stomach to grind. So don't worry about making the last dollar necessarily, but you do want to work for an organization or an individual that you feel good about, and then you'll feel good about yourself.
It makes a difference to have a job when you're a youngster.
I think it makes a huge difference. There's a study which I've never been able to find, but I read it about 30 or 40 years ago and made a big impression on me. It said in terms of correlating business success with all these other variables, what was the best predictor of business success? And they correlated it with IQ, they correlated it with degrees, having MBAs or whatever, they correlate with all kinds of things, family income. They found out in this particular study that the highest correlation was with the earliness of the age at which you entered into your first business. I mean, when you think about it, that's not really that strange. I mean, my guess is that great musicians or great, artists also shows very early interest, or chess players, or you name it. If you get into the game and you start thinking about it very young, if you buy 6 bottles of Coca-Cola for 25 cents and you come home with 30 cents when you sold them, you've learned something. If you deliver papers and you find out if you don't collect that month, that the person has moved the next month and you're stuck with the unpaid bills, you learn something. You learn a lot about human nature. So I think there's nothing like starting young.
What I'm doing right now to better myself for a successful future.
Well, I think there's nothing like reading. I think that my partner Charlie Munger is described as a book with legs. He says that he doesn't know really any successful person that just hasn't done a lot of reading. Beyond that, at 14, sharpening, developing communication skills are enormously important. That's so much more important than learning that pi is 3.14159 or something. There's no comparison. You can learn how to communicate both verbally and in writing. I mean, your value goes up at least 50%. If you can learn how to take what's into your head and somehow transmit it to your fellow man, to customers, to your employer, to whomever. So and a lot of people don't really develop that talent. I was paralyzed at the thought of speaking, when I was in high school or college, and finally I went to take a course. Some of the people in this room will know him. It was down at the Rome Hotel from Wally Keenan, who taught at Creighton University later on, and Wally got a group of us together, and he changed my life in a material way. It cost me $100, but it was vital. There's no sense having it. Somebody said, if you can't communicate, it's like winking at a girl in the dark. I mean, you just don't get anywhere. So the trick is to learn how to get those ideas that are in your head down on paper or out of your mouth in some way that the people that you need to communicate with grasp what you're saying or writing, and it's not complicated stuff. You don't need a master's degree to do it or anything else. You do need practice. Practice is extremely important. So learn to read and learn to communicate. Do a lot of reading and learn to communicate, and you basically can't miss.
Because I've been proud of you frequently. When you say that you had a difficult time communicating, people might not understand how difficult.
Oh, if they saw me, I couldn't go out. I couldn't go in front of people. I mean, it was. I get sick. I arranged the courses in college, so I never was in a course where I had to present anything to anybody. I don't know what happened. Maybe sometime in grade school or something, I sort of made a fool of myself. And I don't remember what got me on the wrong track. I do remember what got me on the right track. And that I have one degree on the wall in my office. I don't know where my degree is. I shouldn't say this in this state, but I don't know where my graduate degree is. I don't know where my graduate degree is. It doesn't make any difference to me. But the Dale Carnegie certificate, you know, which was $100 in Wally Keenan, and Wally became a lifelong friend, is up on the wall in my office. It changed my life. It may have changed it, you know, more than all the courses I took in college.
President doing a good job with money stuff.
Doing a good job what?
With money stuff.
With money stuff. Well, I'm not sure anybody's doing a very good job with money stuff, but the president, I think, well, I would say this, I'm quite sure that President Obama has a similar vision, not identical because nobody does, but a similar vision about what he would like America to be as I do. And I admire what he's doing. I will vote for him again. And I think he's doing okay on money stuff.
Your confidence level in the economy of the United States?
Over time, 10. There's no question about it. I mean, we had just started. People 30 years from now, 50 years from now, are going to live so much better. The average person is going to live better than the richest person lives now. Just like everybody in this room, virtually, is living better than John D. Rockefeller Sr. lived. I mean, you know, he could not get as cool in summer as warm in winter. He could not watch, you know, Super Bowls, World Series, you know. In every way, we live better. We have better medicine available for us than they did. I mean, and that's just starting. So the progress that will be made in understanding the human brain, in terms of just living better in a whole variety of ways. That it is just beginning for Americans, and I envy your 3-month-old boy.
Boy, I want to thank you very much for your
Thank you.
My daughter Simone, who was involved in Girls Incorporated, was a national scholarship winner, and I attribute that to the learning that she received there. She actually introduced the former President Bill Clinton when he was here at one of the Lunch with the Girls events, and as a result of that, she appeared in his book Giving on page 81.
In Bill Clinton's book Giving, he mentions 16-year-old Simone Sanders. Because of Girls Inc., Sanders has come a long way and she's going a lot further. She has dreams of becoming a judge. There are many kids like her whose lives could be launched by caring adults.
I think Girls Inc., I know for a fact I would not be the person I am today without Girls Inc. I was afforded so many opportunities. I got to sit and speak and meet with so many dignitaries. I got one of my DC internship I actually got through Girls Inc. I interned in the National Public Policy Office, and it just really, you know, the motto about being strong, smart, and bold is true, and they stand firm, they stand true to that. The Girls Inc. staff, they care about you, they want to see you succeed, and they'll do everything they can to help you succeed. I'm still coming back to Girls Inc., you know, asking, you know, for things, for help, giving my time back the way people gave their time.
The organization states that Girls Incorporated is a non-profit organization that inspires all girls to be strong, smart, and bold through research-based programs and advocacy that empower girls to reach their full potential and to understand, value, and assert their rights.
She started working here in 2007, and she told me it was a place for girls where we can hang out and go on field trips and do all fun stuff, and she thought I would get involved in it, and I did.
It me because it makes me a better person, like social skills, and it helps me with a lot of different activities and stuff with other people, so I get to know people better.
Help me, like, if I have something wrong and I can just go to them and talk to them. It helped me be more open because I was very shy and didn't really talk to people, and letting me know that there was someone there for me and to talk to me, it just made me want to open up more and start talking and being bold and being who I am.
Well, I think it's really helpful for young people to learn what it is like to be successful. He's an icon in our community and actually in the world, and I think it is quite a treat for the girls to see him, to hear what he has to say.
As part of the fundraiser, guests paid $100 a plate with 800 guests. The Girls Inc. luncheon made $125,000. This is Kylie Widseth reporting. Back to you, Taylor and Bailey.
Thanks, Kylie. And that's all we have for you this week, so have a great week, Wildcats, and we'll see you next week on the Wildcat Report.